yesterday, even though I think we still did about like 5 or 6 hours, but I had to run. I had to go interview Shorty. So whenever you see that, that'll be a thing. But Shorty got interviewed. Anybody from Baltimore here? That'd be dope to see. Okay. Got a good relationship with him, so he's in town. He's now independent. So based on that, I said, come on, let's do an interview. All right. We got into a bunch of stuff yesterday, but today I think the lead thing is obviously going to be Durk's arraignment. So Lil Durk did have an arraignment hearing today where he did put in a guilty plea. Ironically, number one, first of all, there's no bond as of now, and they didn't even go for bond, right? Obviously this is a situation where they probably told Durk, yo, Durk, check this out, brother. You're probably not going to get bond. These type of charges, until we see a little bit of discovery, you're not going to get charged. What you're accused of is getting people to kill people, and there's a highly publicized death. You're not going to get bond, right? So you're not going to get bond now. So let's see what they got on you first, and then we can motion for bond, because we don't want to just, they could have done it in front of the magistrate, but they were going to get told no. So they're going to wait until the district judge picks up the case. And once the district judge picks up the case, which will be, he's going to have that, not necessarily the first appearance, but the next hearing is going to be the detention hearing. Is going to be with the district judge. It's going to be on the 12th, and that's when they're going to know a little bit more. Won't have discovery, but they'll know a little bit more. They'll come with all the stuff like, yo, Lil Durk saved some kids from a burning building. Durk gave away this amount of money. He's been helpful to Chicago. The mayor is speaking up for him. He's just an entertainer. He doesn't pose a flight risk. They're probably going to come with some things, preemptively to kind of like, there's a detention here. And actually, we'll just get into it now, I guess, right? So first and foremost, I think I've told you a million times, if you guys do care about the documents that we review on stream, the academy.blog, you guys could go here and get all the documents that I'm using for stream. You can get it yourself to review for whatever reason. Okay, I've seen, by the way, a bunch of YouTubers kind of use this to make their own videos, and salute to y'all. So this is a detention hearing, the detention affidavit that was submitted by the government. This is even before Smirk got to California. But they basically this is kind of bland, Durk, aka Lil Blood, Lil Durk, aka Blood. I never heard nobody call him Blood. And this is the name Mustafa Abdul Malak, which everybody I guess that's his Muslim name. And they basically said that we request the detention of the defendant for a few reasons. They request pretrial detention, which means until the trial is over, because they're saying there's no condition or combination of conditions that will reasonably assure that two things. A, that he'll appear, right? Which means he's a flight risk. They're obviously going to substantiate that later by saying the nigga was trying to get on a private jet to go to fucking Sweden or actually Switzerland and Italy and then Qatar. Or was it Dubai by way of Qatar? Or it was somewhere else. My bad. Anyway, then it says the safety of other persons or the community. So they're saying he's a risk to the community. That's kind of like implied with the charges. If you're hiring people to get people killed, you got a lot of money. Again, that's alleged. But if you're doing that, kind of reasonable why they might be like, yeah, this guy being free, he might just hire people to kill the witnesses or kill the snitches, right? Who knows, right? So that's kind of the order they put in, and then they say the offense under the 18 U.S.C. or whatever, this does carry a 10-year or greater maximum penalty. And the way how this is looked at, this is the same way how, again, this is not, bond is much different than are you guilty or are you not. So there's no like presumption of innocence or presumption that you are going to show up to court or presumption that you need to get bail, right? Now, a reasonable judge is supposed to make make this decision. However, they usually say with crimes that are where you're facing 10 years or more, or ones that you're facing life, like you don't got no reason to show up to court, because if you blow trial, you're going to jail for life. So why the hell come to court? So with those, it doesn't say you can't get bail, but it kind of dissuades the government from giving you bail, or dissuades the judge from giving you bail, because you know what I mean, if you're facing life, right? And they use the same thing with Diddy, even though still they try to give you a reasonable understanding, because I mean there's a lot of charges that carry over 10 years, right? And then what else? They said the government is entitled to detention hearing if the case involves. So this is where they're going to do detention hearing because of this. A crime of violence, right? Obviously, murder for hire, which the crime of violence is over 10 years, which clearly is carrying life, or a maximum for, or offense where the maximum sentence is life or death, which both include what this is. And they said, and that they believe there's a serious risk the defendant will flee. Okay, so they're gonna have a full hearing on that, and that is going to be what's happening with Durk. Now, interestingly enough, and the biggest irony of everything, as I was like reviewing all these documents and reviewing this case before I was about to get on here, I said, yo, ain't this a trip? You have Lil Durk. Let's go back in the timeline of things, right? Lil Durk and NBA YoungBoy basically have like a feud, right? And that feud is kind of multifaceted, but parts of it comes with allegedly YoungBoy's ex with King Von. What ends up happening is that Quando seemingly takes that feud into his own hands, kind of steps up a bit for YoungBoy, who then becomes on house arrest. They kind of exchange words. Again, this is kind of still over a girl, but not really. Now it's about men and their ego. Then we all seen what happened at the, at the hookah place in Atlanta where King Von was shot and killed. I don't got to pull that video up. And from there, everybody's telling Durk, go slide. You have basically YoungBoy who's rapping, yo, clean up on Al O. They're taunting the fact that King Von got killed. You have Quando Rondo drops a song called End of Story. You have Lil Tim basically saying, yo, he just wrote a pussy nigga off the list, right? Lil Tim. Right? He says, bitch ass nigga just checked a new pussy nigga off the list. Quick to gun you down, but check the score, bitch, I don't miss. Like yeah, these guys, to think where